Let's meditate. In about 2 weeks, actually less, I'll be leaving New Zealand to go to Japan, meet my brother, my friend, and go to a small town to spend a month plus time and meeting more friends there. It's a quiet place, looking forward to it. In the meantime, I'm wrapping up, organizing for my departure. There's a small stream that I discovered, so I want to visit the last time before I take off. I may catch some eel. That'll be good. If not, I just wander around. The end of the trip is the end of the life in that location. I hope I'll come back, but who knows? I remember my mother. She knew she may not last long, and she was at home where I was born, and we are together. I was visiting Japan related to my job. I lived in California, so I have had every year almost to meet my parents. By that time, my father passed away, and I remember just a while ago I thought of her going to Kyoto. I was staying at her house for a few days, I believe, and that's when she left, and maybe I was doing some work in Tokyo or somewhere around there. And I felt she may be going to Kyoto and Nara for the last time before she passes away, because she was getting weak. So my leaving New Zealand triggered such a memory. She was not the person to talk a lot, but just do things. And I'm sure I learned a huge amount which I didn't recognize because my father was more talkative, a lot more random, but fun-loving and exploratory, often breaking the barriers for some progress for the company or himself. Perhaps 10 years before he passed away, he asked me what I thought if he divorces my mother. And I was a bit surprised. I didn't respond directly, but said, it may be nice if you have a home to come back and you hear kettle boiling water or something. So it was like maybe like a Zen koan. Whatever he decided. I can only say a few things, and that was what I said. We never talked about his divorce. He kept married until he passed away. lots of events happen, and for me, more or better than less, more events to go through. Hopefully, it's not too surprising. And as much as my mother may have prepared herself to find that opportunity to go to Kyoto and Nara, most likely visiting temples and gardens for the last time. Each moment is our last time. I put the words in Japanese at the entrance of this living room, which said something like, what was that? Let me check. Yeah, the words are something like this in English. When you've done your job, throw it away. It's about when you use something like a tool or something, and if it's unnecessary, then throw away. Don't carry it. Maybe this is related to Buddha's enlightenment. He said something like going across the other side of the river, and that means he got the awakening or enlightenment and passed through certain barriers. And when he is on the other side, he was saying that you don't need to carry the raft that you ride on to go to the other shore. The other shore implies that's like a nirvana. And you don't need to carry whatever was helpful to get there. And I thought that's quite intriguing and interesting, and relating to what I just said about when you finish the work, you can throw away what you got the work done, if it's not necessary. And I think that's what the Buddha means. Awakening doesn't mean anything if you carry it. It's just a process. So when the work is done and the tools are necessary and needed, you can ditch. But it's stupid to ditch off because you may want to pick up. But those which you don't need, just throw away. It's like carrying the extra inventory in your brain to play with. Keep it outside. Maybe you can keep it in the unconscious part, but not access it so often. Because if you access it about whatever happened, good or bad, it becomes your burden to see things as it is in each moment, to make the right judgment, unless it's needed. Dogen said, that's a Zen monk, front and back is Zen Gosaidan, not connected. Front is future and back is the past. We think time flows, but in fact, there's no logical process you need to connect to the future or the back in the past to think about lots of things. So stay in the now. Be in the now is his point. That's the only moment that you're living. So that makes sense. Except I want to say, as needed, you can do that forward thinking, the image, like may all beings be happy, or the past every now and then to look at what went through, failure or success, only needed. But don't keep it near you. Throw it away. Because if it becomes too much burden, like Buddha's not carrying the raft, it may not free us up for the situation in the moment. It's a tricky business to do that, in my view, and I may have to keep on clarifying the point of this in real life of how I live. But I like what Dogen said and the Buddha said, and what I posted on the wall, throw away when it's not needed. And the end of the trip is the beginning of the new trip. Then don't carry. Even if you don't carry it in your mind, you'll be left somewhere down below. That's my image in our unconscious part of who we are. Because past is the past, including karma, developed who I am, who you are. You can ditch it off. Yes, that's appropriate to make the right judgment, but it can be possibly meaningful. As a human construct, we have those memories. I was working on AI. AI doesn't have long-term memory. So I have to instruct to make the right judgment on this task that I'm dealing with AI. He made a mistake of thorough review of the past, which is a checking of the past to know what has happened as a basis for me to make a judgment. And AI is helping, but AI didn't do a good job, so I have to instruct. So he's working on it. When I come back from the stream to catch eel, I'll see. So what I said may be seen as a scattered anecdote or story, and it might be confusing, then throw it away. Be here and now. I am in the process of throwing it away. As I spoke, that's how I feel. Memory of my mother and father and my life. What happened in New Zealand, fell from the ledge. My condo burned in California. and the Trump and all the political situation. Too much information, so clean up. Let the, what's the word? Let everything settle to where it belongs, and use what's needed at the time when it's needed, at the amount as it's needed. That's the idea of lean and waste elimination, my first book with Toyota production system, but applicable, very applicable to live life. But we don't have to carry the concept. We just keep it somewhere and open up as needed. It's a needs-driven way of living, which means depend on the situation. Like scenery changes, environment changes, the condition changes, and myself changes. Take a proper action by making the right judgment. And for that, we want to have a calm and quiet mind, even to the point of no thinking, no mind, no self. Check and balance. And the idea, the wisdom, compassion may pop up, guiding us away. Beyond that, whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, we accept nature's way. In principle, because that's how we are built and born on this planet and be alive for a while, riding the wave of the universe, making the most, and that's our duty to help ourselves to live well and help others, because we got lots of help from others, all related to the way things happen, and the basis of that is the way of nature, laws of nature, the laws of universe. We are floating on that. So let's be sincere, truthful, to know what this life is, this existence is. Let's check and act upon it to have a plan, including catching the wheel if I can, or cleaning up the house in New Zealand and move on. Do and continue CAPD, check, act, plan, do, or Shila Samadhi Panya. I tend to think CAPD is in the brain and the Shila Samadhi Panya is connecting to the heart. Those need to be aligned like a brain and heart. Beyond that, let's get rid of unnecessaries, clean up, even rebooting this operating system of life I've got, you may have, and move on one step at a time. thank you. When I say thank you, well, who is you? You is everything and the laws of the universe, in the setting I've got, breathing, heart pumping, do my job. May all beings be happy. Now I feel my body is responding. There's aliveness. Yes, I'm listening, trying to connect or connecting or being connected. Thank you.